Imagine a nation, scarred by centuries of foreign rule, suddenly finding its voice, its resolve, in the aftermath of a global war. This is Ireland, in the years following the Great War, a land simmering with a fierce desire for self-determination. From 1919 to 1921, Ireland was plunged into a brutal war of independence, a conflict that was a complex tapestry of guerrilla warfare, high-stakes political negotiation, and deep, often heartbreaking, social divisions. How did a decentralized, seemingly outmatched insurgency manage to force a state-level settlement from one of the world's most powerful empires? This is a story of courage, desperation, and the enduring human cost of freedom. At the heart of this struggle were the men and women of the Irish Republican Army, the IRA. They were not a conventional army, but a network of local units, often young men, deeply embedded within their communities. Their weapon of choice was not brute force, but ingenuity and intimate knowledge of their own land. They perfected the art of guerrilla warfare, swift, devastating hit-and-run attacks, ambushes on isolated police patrols or military convoys, and then, just as quickly, melting back into the familiar folds of the countryside or the labyrinthine urban backstreets. These were the flying columns, small, mobile groups that struck with precision and vanished, leaving their adversaries bewildered and frustrated. Their intelligence, often gathered from sympathetic villagers and townspeople, was their lifeline, giving them an almost supernatural ability to anticipate and evade. Every road, every hedgerow, every hidden lane became part of their strategic advantage. The British response was swift and often terrifying. London poured reinforcements into Ireland, including paramilitary auxiliaries known infamously as the Black and Tans and the Auxiliaries. These we often demobilized soldiers, hardened by the trenches of the Great War, and their methods were brutal. Their reprisals for IRA actions were frequently indiscriminate, targeting entire communities. Homes were burned, businesses destroyed, and innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. This cycle of violence, however, had an unintended consequence. It didn't break the spirit of the Irish people. Instead, the brutality often fueled local anger, pushing more young men and women into the arms of the IRA, convinced that only through resistance could their dignity be preserved. The true weight of this conflict, however, fell squarely on the shoulders of ordinary civilians. They bore the brunt of the violence, living in constant fear. Imagine a family watching their home burn, a neighbor disappearing in the night, or the impossible choice of loyalty when both sides demanded allegiance. The social fabric of Ireland was stretched to its breaking point as communities were forced to take sides, and contested authority became a daily reality. Children grew up amidst the sound of gunfire and the sight of destruction, their innocence stolen by the harsh realities of war. The emotional toll was immense, leaving scars that would last for generations. In this shadow war, intelligence and counterintelligence were paramount. Both sides relied heavily on local informants, their eyes and ears in every village and town. Surveillance was constant, code words whispered, and secrets guarded with lives. The IRA's deep local knowledge often gave them an edge, allowing them to outmaneuver British operations. Yet the war was also a breeding ground for leaks and betrayals. The cost of a whispered word, a misplaced document, or a moment of weakness could be measured in lives lost, in families shattered. Trust became a precious, fragile commodity. As the war dragged on, a weariness settled over both sides. The military costs for Britain were mounting, and political pressure at home grew. The time for negotiation had arrived. In 1921, talks began, culminating in the Anglo-Irish Treaty. This agreement was a monumental step, creating the Irish Free State with dominion status, granting Ireland a significant degree of self-governance. But it came at a heavy price, one that would forever shape the island. 6 counties in the north remained part of the United Kingdom, forming Northern Ireland. This partition, a compromise born of exhaustion and political expediency, immediately sparked a new, devastating conflict. The treaty divided Irish leaders and the nation itself. Some, pragmatic and weary of war, accepted the compromise as the best possible outcome. Others, driven by an unyielding vision of a fully united, independent republic, saw it as a betrayal, a capitulation. This profound split led directly to the Irish Civil War, a brutal internecine conflict that raged from 1922 to 1923. Former comrades who had fought side by side against the British now turned their weapons on each other, their ideals clashing in a tragic, bloody struggle rooted in the very compromise that had ended the war for independence. The legacy of the Irish War of Independence is vast and complex. It reshaped British imperial policy, serving as a blueprint and an inspiration for anti-colonial movements across the globe. For Ireland, it left a contested memory, a political landscape defined by partition, and ongoing debates about identity, nationhood, and reconciliation. It was a war that showed how the relentless pressure of guerrilla tactics, combined with the intricate dance of political negotiation and the deep fractures within society, can fundamentally reshape states and leave an indelible mark on the human spirit. Ireland's path to partial independence is a powerful testament to the human will to be free and the often agonizing compromises required to achieve it. If you'd like a more focused episode on the harrowing experiences of the Black and Tans, the intricate debates surrounding the treaty, or a deeper dive into the specific tactics of the IRA, let me know in the comments below.